Boop, boop. Go.
Welcome to the Unwind Online podcast. My name is Shakey.
And I'm Tiz.
Hello. This is episode 5.
Hello.
Wait, does that sound weird? Hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
5 episodes in.
Every time you do that, I'm like, no, really?
Yeah. Do you know that's commitment, really, from that's consistency as well, which is a hard thing to in this kind of world that we live in.
I was wondering, you might be able to hear my jet engine of a laptop taking off every once in a while as it starts
I can't hear anything.
Fire it up.
Anyway,
the quality of this episode might not be as great, by the way, because I am trying to record from my laptop.
I'll do it.
In the middle of nowhere. So just so everyone knows, if
she's
the
on
production value of this
she's on her
isn't as
journey.
great. But look, we've got our wave thingies. So anyway, what were you saying? Sorry.
Do you want to let people know where you are, or is it a secret?
No, I can let people know.
What country you're in? Yeah,
I am in Italy now, which is actually super exciting because I didn't really think about it until I was like on the flight over here. But Italy is what like gave me the travel bug in the first place. So I studied abroad somewhere near like Florence, Rome, like right in between there in college, which was what, 10 years ago? I don't know. We're getting old.
Long time ago.
Ages ago. So I did 3 months in Italy, and then I traveled around a little bit, and that was like my intro into traveling. And normally I never go back. I always do new countries. So this is, the sun just went behind clouds. My lighting's going to be really freaking weird.
That's fine.
But yeah, so this is the first time that I've been back to a country, and it's the country that like sparked my love of travel in the first place. So it's been kind of
it's funny,
cool,
because I share a bit of a love and a passion for Italy. I did a bit of traveling in Italy. It was mainly around Rome and Venice as well, and little spots in between. But to me, it's one of my favorite places in the world for the food, for the culture, for the people, for the countryside.
I was gonna say the food,
the wine,
the architecture. I love even like the way the streets. And like I love the little balconies and the colors. Like you just kind of like walk down the street and it's just like, oh, look at that, and look at that, and look at this, and gelato, and I will say, my gluten intolerance is not having a good time because.
Is that because there's not many gluten options out there? The gluten-free options out there?
No, it's because I'm maybe not making the best. Okay, look, it's like a when in Rome situation, you know? When in Italy.
How did I know you were going to use this? That's saying. Okay, stop. So, what's your favorite thing that you've eaten so far?
Pizza.
In Italy. Yeah. And how do you have? This is always a talking point because you know what I'm like with my pizzas, guys.
Pizza.
What did you have on the pizza?
It was a buffalo mozzarella.
Buffalo mozzarella, nice.
Wait, I'll just show you a picture.
Can show a picture. I love pizza. I have pizza every week. I made pizza on Monday.
Every Friday. It was this. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. It's too bright. Hold on.
Yeah, proper.
But it was like, it was chunky.
Yeah.
Look at that chunk. It was like, and kind of sourdoughy.
It's so good, isn't it?
It's like
the pizza in Italy is just 10 times better than anywhere else.
Today I did focaccia, however you say it, with olives
with oils?
And also pizza version. What the hell?
Focaccia is
it was
beautiful.
Just
Focaccia
so
is a
bright, and
lovely,
now my light was just gone. Oh well.
Focaccia is a lovely bread. I love Italian food. We have it a lot. It's great. So that's good. So you're on your travels still. You're in Italy now.
It's kind of funny. Everybody keeps being like, "Oh, I hope you're like enjoying your vacation," and I'm like, it doesn't really feel like vacation at this point. I mean, like it kind of is, but also it's like, it's mostly like I'm just bopping around and I'm living out here for a while because like I don't know when I'm gonna be back. But I did just submit, which I haven't told you this, but I found out that you actually have to have a visa to get into the UK now. Right now they have like, you have to apply for electronic visa.
Okay.
But I applied and I got in.
I didn't know that.
So they said I can come to your country. So, and it works for the next
I might just put a call into the border patrol.
all of you are like, we're not gonna let you in. I'm like, shh.
No.
You sassy Brits. Quiet.
Leave us alone. Go travel elsewhere. No.
But anyway, so I was just checking flights. So I think it looks like if I fly back to the States from somewhere, either Manchester or Heathrow, I'm not sure which one.
Manchester.
But it's only like like less than 300 euros for a one way,
Have you
which is
checked
not bad.
places like Birmingham and East Midlands and everything?
I didn't know there was airports there, so no. But I will
And
check
Luton.
that.
There's shit tons of airports, and most of them do fly to a lot of different European places.
Well,
So
no. To
that
fly
that would
home
mean that
though.
would to fly home. Okay,
So like the
but
bigger airports tend to be a little bit better for that.
yeah, but you could fly into like Birmingham and
True.
then fly out from
True.
Manchester. It's
Well,
not
I
that
mean, the
far.
flight from, because I'm probably going to be in Sweden after TwitchCon, and the flight from Sweden to London is 23 euros. So
Pretty good, isn't it?
that's not bad.
Can't
And
complain.
then
You
and
can't
then I
complain.
figure maybe I'll stick around for like a week before,
Yeah.
and then bop around and see all y'all again there. I mean, I'll see you at TwitchCon, but if you're not sick of me, we'll come say hi again.
No, I should be all good in early June as long as it's not. There's a weekend in June, but I'll text you or day
Okay.
in June. I can't do, but yeah,
Yeah.
but yes. So and then yeah, TwitchCon is.
Yeah, I was crazy. I was trying to think. We'll have this episode and then what? One more episode? Oh, two more episodes.
2 more episodes.
So this
So we've
one,
got one.
two more,
Yeah.
and then we'll do an episode together. Maybe we'll record that on that Friday, the 30th, perhaps.
I'm thinking on Friday the 30th. Yeah, the day
Mm-hmm.
we're in Rotterdam, but not TwitchCon hasn't started yet, or it hasn't started for the affiliates. It's started for the partners, but that's a whole separate.
I mean, we have to
matter
make sure we do it
altogether. Blah,
early
blah, blah, blah.
enough so that I
Blah,
have
blah, 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 blah,
time
blah, blah,
to
blah,
make
blah.
it.
Yeah, I've been practicing. We went through our initial run of our panel talk.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh,
That's
God.
exciting.
Oh, I'm nervous.
No,
but
you're
I'll be
going to
all right.
do great. If anyone is going to TwitchCon, Shakey
Yeah,
may
but
or may not be
apparently, like,
heading
you
with
have to like Joe was saying, like they'll have people like that will tell us if we need to like wrap up the talk, and you know what I'm like with talking, so there might be like a Twitch person at the back going, "Come on, finish up," and I'm like,
Yeah, they give you like a heads up, like if you guys are going over your time and stuff, or like if you have to start wrapping up for questions, or like just like be mindful. Let other people talk
nervous.
sometimes. It's fine.
Anyway, let's talk. Let's chat. Let's chat. So, what do we want to? What do you want to talk about today outside of travel?
We talked about, I mean, there's been a lot of things that we've kind of been chatting about. I've done a total of maybe like 3 streams, I think, since I've been traveling. So one of the things that we talked about a little bit was kind of this idea, this mindset of what content creation looks like as far as like always being on, and this idea of like hustle culture versus like healthy growth. And I think that would be something, especially since that's close to home at the moment, because I've been almost feeling like by taking this sort of break, I feel like I'm gonna have to like start over in some ways. Like you kind of like build momentum as you are on the online space and you're doing a lot of things. And then I have that fear in the back of my head that like, oh, okay, well, since I'm not consistently gonna be streaming, when I get back, I feel like I'm gonna have to start over. But on the flip side of that, there's that like, it's still healthy for your mindset to like take breaks and avoid burnout and things like that. So I feel like in general, this episode might be good to talk about the ideas of, maybe giving tips on what we do as far as like just staying productive and how we do healthy growth and, good routines or...
Oh God, routine. Oh boy.
Or, maybe some of those tips of what we've learned you shouldn't do. And, just this idea of what like constant productivity looks like. Because I do think that streaming or content creation or like being a presence online takes a lot of like being present and productive all of the time. There doesn't really feel like there's much of an off switch. So as I am kind of in the middle of having a like self-enforced off switch, thought that would be kind of an interesting topic to talk about. I don't know really where to start, but like I don't know if you had any ideas that randomly popped in your head as I was ranting.
It's interesting. It's interesting you say that as well, because it's like I think we're both in situations at the moment since the start of the month where we aren't usually. So
yeah. Oh yeah, because you're streaming
online,
more and I'm streaming less.
Exactly. So you're usually online like four days a week, and and then I'm doing my 3 days around everything else. But you're traveling and I'm doing this mega event, and I've streamed. Where are we? Day 12. So this is a rest day for me. But I've streamed 10 of the 12 days in May, and it's exhausting and it's tiring. but I am online more and I'm present
Yeah.
more, and people are coming in,
Have
and
you
also people are saying
noticed
it's.
a big difference? Like, do you see different people? Have you noticed growth? Like, how does it feel versus streaming to your normal schedule?
Yeah, I mean, like viewers are still fairly similar, but like I'm getting to hang out with people. I said this last time, I think I'm getting to hang out with people I don't usually hang out with, or I'm seeing people that aren't available to come and see me on my normal shifts on Twitch, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's great, and it's really nice. And I've been able to connect with a few people I haven't spoken to in ages, which is good. And people are saying like it's great because like you're online back to back for like 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, yeah.
It almost has this feeling of like it's like a house party, and you all go to bed, and then you wake up in the next morning, you're all like strewing around the house and like waking up on sofas, and then you just go again and you start again and again and again. And it's quite this. It's almost like quite a shared thing. Like, what are we doing today? So what are we doing today? Because there's no schedule.
Yeah.
So it's like, what
I
are we
know
up
we
to today?
mentioned
What
that
do we
last
fancy
time,
doing?
and you were talking about like, and you've been enjoying doing that more, right? Like, not.
I've really enjoyed it, and I'm actually said to myself in my community, I think after this is done, I will tell you that I'm going
Yeah.
online, but I'm not gonna tie myself down to a particular game or content or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with the flow with it. Simple as that. But yeah, so we are. There's. I'm definitely online more at the moment, and I'm present more, but it is incredibly tiring. And I was, like I said, I was in this chat the other day. One of the big streamers I was talking with the other day said they're on TikTok a lot, and they're doing like a lot of short form content, because short form content is still massive,
Yeah, yeah.
whether it be reels, whether it be shorts, whether it be TikToks. And they were just saying, just get it out. Just get it out. Even if you
Yeah.
don't think it's entertaining, get it out, be seen,
Yeah,
be
yeah.
in the regular
We
algorithms.
talked about that a little
And
bit, like that top of
I was
mind.
like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then like on that day, I was like, I'm gonna get TikTok out. And then yesterday, I'm like, I'm gonna get TikTok, and I failed to get one out yesterday. And now I've got to get one out today. But
Yeah.
it's hard because I want to make sure the content goes out. I'm almost being a
We're
bit
both a little bit of
perfectionist with it.
perfectionists, so I think that
Yeah.
it's always hard
Whereas
to
actually, I
like,
could just be like, stop, just get it out.
yeah.
So it's that culture, isn't it?
Done
And it,
is
it
better
goes on
than
to what you're
perfect.
saying. But yeah, I know. But it is this whole thing of like, it's that how often you're online. I think you'd mentioned when we were chatting, we've chatted obviously before this, but this kind of being always present, being always online. And I think you mentioned a good way. You said hustle culture. So it's like,
Yeah.
get stuff out, go, 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 get more content out, be routine, be regimented, fire it all out. And it's hard.
Well, and I would say that
So
I
hard.
do think that different brains are better at different things. Like there are some people that I look at, and I don't know whether they hire editors or they do other things, but some people just seem to be so dang good at it. And like for me, it's a lot. It's really tiring. And like we were talking, I
Hmm.
did a little just chatting thing the other day, and we were talking about like the amount of platforms that you need to be present on as a streamer. It's like, because like if you have Twitch, you
Oh,
also
yeah.
have your Discord community, because like that's like your people and how the people find you offline. But then you also have, like you said, TikTok. We have maybe Instagram and making reels. There's Threads and Twitter and Blue Sky and YouTube. So like trying to do YouTube now. So like that's 8 different platforms that like, yeah, you can reuse and recycle some content. So like most of like the Twitter like platforms, I kind of do the same posts, or like
Yeah.
Reels and TikTok, I do the same. But like that's a lot of content to make. And if you do at least even just like one piece a day, I mean, I'm lucky if I can get one out a week at this point. But I think that is what it really takes to grow exponentially as a creator. Like the people that I
Hmm.
see that do like really, really well on like YouTube and TikTok tend to like, I see their Twitch channel grow a lot more. And so there is that like, yeah, the hustle culture and the like productivity kind of like always being on. But I think that that's where you get really close to the burnout, especially if you're pushing yourself in a way that you're not comfortable with, or that like doesn't work for you in the way that your brain works. So
See, the thing is,
hard
I
to find that
like, and,
balance.
and I get exactly that, and maybe I'm
Oh,
trying at a wrong time. Oh, where are you going?
my
You
okay,
there?
my stop.
Oh, oh, is it? Does it move to where you are?
So
Oh,
yeah, I have an AI
oh, look who's
tracking.
living in 2035.
If apparently if I put my hand like this, stop.
It's fine. It's looking at you. Stop.
No,
We can
but
see you. Fine.
when, no, it does hand signals. So if I do this, or like I did this, and I saw it flash at me, and that's how like it knows to start
I've
tracking,
got so
and so
much
then I have to
forehead there.
like
Oh
turn
my
off.
God, my forehead. Fuck. God.
Wait, what's with your forehead?
Too big. It's growing every day.
Okay, there, I got it turned
My
off.
my
We're fine.
forehead is my forehead is growing bigger than my presence on Twitch. This is terrible.
It's
Um,
growing?
yeah.
I thought it was only like ears and noses that kept growing forever.
No, apparently my forehead is defying the rules. Um, it's this. What were we saying? I'm probably trying to do this online, this kind of everything to do with socials and everything at the wrong time because I'm streaming 6 days a week,
Yeah, yeah.
and then kind of all I want to do when I'm not on stream is nothing to do with stream. I don't want to do anything with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Well,
honest.
that's honestly, I think what's really tough too, especially for me, is like the more I take a break away from it, like as much as I miss everybody and I do feel like I'm missing out a lot, when I take too much of a break, it's either I feel like, and maybe this is part of my personality too, I either feel like I'm 100% in or I'm like 100%
hmm
out. So like, like I haven't, because I haven't been engaging and like being present as much, I'm like, it's fine, I don't want to stream, like, it's whatever. But that's really hard because, I mean, obviously when this is something that I do full time, it's just like, it's either like I feel like I'm fully engaged and I'm doing things all the time, or I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to do anything, you know? And so trying to find, always
But
trying to
again,
find balance is really, really tough.
but I do think we need to. I have to constantly remind myself that if I am treating this as a job, which I am,
Yeah, yeah.
jobs have days off for a reason. They have assigned holiday. They have all of this for reasons. And when you're in a normal job and you're not working, you don't want to be thinking about working. You
Yeah.
want to kind of just escape it. And I think it's so easy to forget that.
Yeah, I
Like
think
I could put
with
50.
streaming, it's like
I
it
could
is
just,
being all the way on. So it's like, how do you find time to turn that off sometimes?
yeah. And
Yeah.
and I think that an important thing to come with that is, I guess, when it comes to I guess managing communities and relationships and social things online with your friends and everything. If there is a time where, like for instance, I know myself, I'm pretty bad at messages sometimes. So if I take a month or two to get back to you, it's not because I don't want to. It's just because I'm trying to factor it into a time where I can allocate it and be reply to you in the best way.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to give you yeah, but we almost need to. It's not because we don't want to go back to people. It's because we're almost just trying to manage some time away from everything, including the messages. And I get so many lovely people supporting me, and I do need to get better at going back to them. But I do feel bad sometimes when I don't. I need to kind of stop
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna
that.
ask too. Is like if you do have certain things you do to try to keep that separate or certain boundaries, because I do think that's something it can be really easy to kind of like blur that line between, especially as a streamer, right? That this idea of like personal life versus, because we like kind of share all of our lives, right? But like trying to find that boundary of like what is yours versus what is
Mm.
for the online space, if that makes sense. And do you do any of that, or are you kind of like all in, or is that something you're working on?
It merges all into one, really. But I am working on it in the fact that, like, if it's for me, if it's like family time, I don't want really that to meld into
Yeah.
that time. Most of the time, if you get messages from me, it will probably be when all of the family's gone to bed and
Yeah.
I'm still awake, or it's when I'm at home and they're at work and at their respective kind of school or nursery or whatever. Like, it just gives me some time without them because what I don't want is I started doing it and
Like hanging
my
out with your
little
family, but being on your phone, and then
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
or I'd be like on my computer trying to do stuff and my little one wants to show me something and play and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not going to get that time with him again, but
Hmm.
this is always going to exist here.
Yeah. No,
And
I
it'll
think that's
exist,
really
and
smart too.
it'll exist here tonight. It'll exist here tomorrow. But he's going to grow every day, and I shouldn't really be sacrificing that. And there is that kind of guilt feeling of like I've spent a lot of time on this week, but not as much time with my boys
Hmm.
or the family, and that's hard. That's really hard. But that's just kind of that's my situation. Everyone's situation is different. Whether they, if they've got a partner or if they've got they want to take their dog for a walk. Like, because sometimes like the dog will come up to me because he'll want to walk, and I'm like, half an hour, let me do this, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
But actually, I could be outside enjoying the sun, going on a longer walk with him.
Well, I think like recognizing that is the first step, right? And I do think
Yeah.
that it's very much just being as present as you can. So like one of the things that I noticed too is like, like if I'm with my family, which I don't live close to them, but if I ever go back, like sometimes my sister will be on her phone a lot, like during dinner or something, and that's my thing is like trying to make sure that I'm always present in whatever moment that I am. So like
hmm
if this is content creation time, then I'm present there. But like if I'm spending time with family, that it's time with family, right? And like you don't have your phone because it's really easy to just like have your phone out and be engaging on Discord or be doing something 24/7. So like consciously
Yeah.
just being like, okay, this is time for different things and kind of allocating and trying to find that balance, I think is important. So at least you're like kind of recognizing where you're like, oh, well, maybe I could spend more time. But I think...
I need to, But I did one thing this week, and I'm really pleased with myself for doing it. And I turned off all Discord notifications on my phone.
See, I turned off all notifications. I have
All
Discord, and my WhatsApp and like my text notifications on. But I turned all like Instagram, Twitter, all of those. I turned those off a while ago because not only am I a perfectionist, I'm also a little bit of an OCD. Like I hate if there's a dot.
Little notification bars on your phone.
I will respond to the dot. So I mean, I have to like very intentionally be like, okay, I'm opening the app and I'm going to go respond to these things for like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. Otherwise, I just don't open the app.
I think the only one I've got on is Instagram and WhatsApp at the moment. But I turned off Discord notifications because I was getting about 20 a day, and I was like, it was bugging me because I'd be driving and I'd hear the Discord noise, or I'd be sitting there with family and see it up. And then I'd look at it, and then I'd be in the habit of replying or doing something, and then I'd be meant to be doing something else, and then they'd be like, "What are you doing on your phone?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just quickly doing this," and I'm like, "Oh no, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do it. Why am I doing it? What am I doing?"
Well, and I think that's.
But the problem is, go on.
Well, I was just gonna say that's kind of one of those things that we were talking about with like the hustle culture and like balancing that with like healthy growth and stuff and what that looks like. I think one of the things, like kind of this idea of like tips for doing that, or like trying to find that balance, I think that is the biggest one, is probably turning off notifications and trying to stay present in whatever it is that you are engaging in, rather than trying to like split attention. Because then everyone kind of gets half of you, rather than you being fully engaged in whatever it is.
Yeah.
But what else were you gonna say?
Nothing. It's just I think I genuinely think I might have ADHD as well. I just noticed my hair and how floofy the floofy
have you not seen me the whole time being like?
I look like when the chickens come up and they're like, and they've got like the fluffy hair on their head, the fluffy mane.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh God. Anyway, yes, it's
no, like tell you what, my brain is like. I took a sip of tea and then I got honey on my hand, so I was sitting here just being like, and then like hair, and then I would not be surprised if there's honestly no way you don't at this point.
I think I must do. You know what the problem is with this whole...
Have you heard the conversations that we have? I'm surprised how focused we've stayed today, at least, honestly. It's probably because we didn't have a plan, so like both of us are really focused. We're like, okay, wait, we don't quite know what we were talking about today, so like let's make this sound intelligent. I forgot what we're talking about.
This whole online, always online, and the hustle culture and everything like that. I think part of the problem is that on all the socials and everything, we follow and we support other creators and we do something. And what I find is that if I've seen someone be quite productive and they've got like a couple of Instagram reels out, awesome, TikToks out, or they've done something on their YouTube, or they're like, here's my playthrough of this, or like, I'm doing this, I'm like, fuck, they're being productive and I'm not. Shit, right, better get doing something, release anything. Here's a video. And I'm like, that was so unprepared and I haven't done anything. Like, I feel like I'm falling, but it's the feeling of falling behind.
Yeah.
Because I've not done anything. And it's like, you could be utilizing this time to grow. And I'm like, well, I'm sitting on my ass over there watching something.
Well, and that's, with traveling, I feel the same way too, where I'm like, I could be doing more, or like, I keep beating myself up because like my brain has like, I can do one thing or I get distracted. So like, if I make vertical videos for social media, great. If I want videos that are landscape for vlogs, great. I cannot do both. So like, I keep being like, I have all this content for vlogs. And then I go through my videos and I'm like, I took not one single video of something vertical for me to post on like TikTok. So it's like, I kind of feel like I just have to choose. And for some people that might be the reality, that like maybe there are people out there who are good at doing it all, or you hire somebody to help. And maybe there's some of it where, you just have to, rather than beating yourself up over it, learn that like, this is the way that your brain works, and like utilize it to the best of your capability. So like to me, I'm like, okay, my focus on this trip is vlogs. And vlogging only, which means vertical. And I do the best I can.
Because you've done well. Like, for instance, when you take on little projects like your chainmail project at home, you do it. Me, I write down a to-do list.
Shaky.
I write down. No. Listen.
No, wait,
I write down a to-do list.
Hold on. I have a question for you. How many of those chainmail projects have I finished?
None. Do you know, I called it as well when you were like, I'm doing chainmail. I was like, she ain't finished the last one. Swear to God, she hasn't done it. She's just like stopped and moved on to the next.
I have three. I have three that are like kind of mostly have some sort of
it's
shape.
looking great, and I'm like, it's not the original one she was doing. Can't you see that?
See, exactly. So yeah, I did it, but I didn't. Like I said, listen.
But like, I write a to-do list with things to do, and there's the important things at the top. I'm like, right, I need to get merch out because my command on Twitch chat said I'm getting merch out early 2024, and it is now May 2025, and everyone's been ragging me for that. So I'm like, right, merch, and I'll be like, ba-da-ba, and I'll be like, that's quite a funny sound, isn't it? Why don't I put that into my stream? And I'll be like, oh wait, I'm gonna add a new fish to that fishing game I've got, and then I've got like in the background, I've got like my fourth wall in the background. They're like, do you want to finish the design? I'm like, why don't I do this? And I'm like, ooh. And then I go and watch something else. I'm like, that's a good idea. Let me write that down.
Shakey, when you were asking if you think you have ADHD, I think I can probably say yes.
Wait, look at
confidently.
This. Hang on a second. July, August 2023. Make a new BRB trailer, make new raid trailer. May 2025, new BRB trailer, new raid trailer for almost 2 years.
Oh, you want to know mine?
Oh my God.
I have a Microsoft, I do a Microsoft to-do, and I have to-do tasks, which I have a couple of them crossed off. I'm not going to lie. You want to hear my categories? I have finances, errands. I have a tasks for later one because...
Oh, that's never getting done.
I've got a 2025 goals, which,
I get my 2025 goals.
They're actually not the worst. They're like, Twitch, get like 6K followers. YouTube, try to get 1K. TikTok, 10K followers. I've been on TikTok literally once this year. So, that goal doesn't look like that's going to happen. I have a social media category. I've done none of these things. They're things as little as like fix my bio.
Yep.
I have like a partnerships, like ideas of partnerships of people to reach out to. I've reached out to none of them. I have a to-do tasks. Oh, most of these are crossed out. I did some of those. I have a make money ideas, all in caps. They're connected to like trying to do partnership stuff. I said make YouTube videos, push them on my Twitch channel, which I kind of did that. I said make a Ko-fi or Patreon ? And then I made a separate one called tasks. So things like, my tasks are like sort emails, which I haven't done. New merch design. That's been there, created July 31st of 2024. Create links and profile page, a new professional email, like finish YouTube videos. This is red and bolded.
And I've used a new social site which I really, really like as well. So that's something to, and it's really cool and it looks clean and fresh and it's all my links in one place. And I really like that.
Is as long as we're getting something done and there is growth, whatever that looks like, we'll get the things that need to happen when they need to happen. And if it didn't get done, it didn't need to happen.
But there's also, agreed. And do you know what I think it is as well? I think this is different in this job in the fact that we're not going into, like if I was going into an office environment 9 to 5 and it was like, today's jobs are to design some new merch and get a new trailer and do that. And that's your job by today. And your boss will say by the end of the week, if it's not done, why is it not done? Because we are our own boss.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. The hardest part is we are our own boss and we get very distracted.
Our shit boss, because we don't ever enforce ourselves to do anything.
Hey, my boss is great. I let myself go on vacation.
Okay. I'll go do that then. Oh, sure. Why don't you go to the kitchen for a snack? Oh yeah, good shout. Now don't go back to work for 3 hours. Yeah, I'll do that. It's fine.
I mean, I did the same thing with even just trying to do, like I was like, I'm going to sit down and read my book, doom scroll. I was like, oh, it's been 2 hours. Shit.
What's that Muppet? There's a Muppet that
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know its name.
With the one with the red head that's like...
Yep.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep, with the fluff.
That's literally... Yep.
Yep.
That's me right now. But what was I going to say? Oh, there was something. Oh, what was I going to say? Yeah. Oh, so we've had again going back to what me and you spoken about recently. We've had loads of really nice
Wait, which
feedback
part?
on the podcast. Oh, we'd spoken about it off camera.
Oh, okay.
But we've had loads of really nice feedback from people, and I've had people coming into my Twitch chat saying really enjoying the podcast, and it's been really good to listen to and have it listening whilst doing other things. But also, I hope that people can resonate with a lot of the things we've been saying. Who are streamers? There are streamers watching this, and I hope you see now, and especially those streamers who are like, "Oh, what do you do?" This is literally. It's a mess. It's a pure mess. We don't do our jobs that we're supposed to do. We don't finish anything. We start loads of ideas. Half of them or most of them don't come to fruition. And there's a constant worry that you're not online enough. So that's how to stream.
Yeah. Well, and in a couple, what was I going to say? I had 6 thoughts that started in my brain all at the same time. Yes. I think it's partially, it doesn't matter what part of the journey you're on, right? So whether you're like you're like pushing for partner and stuff, whether like for me, I'm like, I have partner, but like now I've been traveling. And so now I feel like I'm gonna have to start building back numbers up again later. Like no matter what part of the journey you're on, maybe there are people who have it all, that have the secret figured out. But I think for the most part, it is kind of all over the place for everyone. And this was actually something, we talked about this a little bit on my stream yesterday, was kind of like this idea of part of it, which I don't know if we should get too far in there, is like that idea of like, some people will say like women have it easier on Twitch, or there'll be always these excuses for like why someone has made it. And at the end of the day, and some people that just say that it's luck, but at the end of the day, it's like there is so much work and effort that goes into really whatever job or whatever thing that you choose to do, but especially for content creation, like we've been talking about, whether it's like a social media posts or being present or showing up or how often you're streaming, like there is so much that goes into it that I don't know if everybody realizes that.
No way do they realize it at all. And also, I like to think of the duck on water thing. The duck on water thing is more accurate than anything else, which is the whole
I like that.
above the surface you have the duck kind of almost gliding gracefully above the water. Then below the water, the legs are going like crazy, and no one sees that.
Yeah.
Sometimes that comes through to the surface when there's a tech issue or there's a scuff bit or something doesn't work.
Is that like the duck diving down and you see the little butt like?
Yeah, we see my little butt tail flicking out there. That's me having a bit of a nightmare. But then we smooth out again and we carry on. But you don't see what's going on, and also. This is why it's so difficult to explain content creation and streaming to the muggles that don't know what streaming is, the normal folk out there outside in the real world, because they're like, oh, you just play games for a living. I'm like, 10% of my job or 20% of what I do is playing games. The other 80% of it is make sure everything's ready to go online and do all of the networking, all of the building, everything like that. But they don't see that.
Yeah, no,
and it's not a real job, and I'm like, it kind of is, and it's.
You get
and they're
to
like,
explain it, and you're
not
like,
in a day. You don't have a day job at the moment. Yeah, but do you know how fucking busy I am? They're like, well, man of leisure. I'm like, I'm not a man of leisure at all.
Well, yeah, it's that idea of like, sure, you get to say, oh yeah, I play video games for a living, and like that's awesome, and that's cool.
It's very cool. Yeah.
The rest of it, as you can see with the conversation that we've been having, feels like putting your head through a wall, like trying to get things done, or like, at least for me, like fighting with my brain to like actually sit down and create all these things that I know that I quote unquote should be doing, which, and then I have this mindset where it's like, you should never should on yourself. Should. Like it's either you can't or you won't do something.
Should on yourself or shit on yourself?
Should on yourself. But yes, that's the play on words. Because shooting on yourself, you God, I keep saying should. It's either you can or you won't or you want to, like. But if you say that you should do something, it's like, well, yeah, but you're either getting it done or you're not. So I'm like trying to shift that mindset of, rather than telling myself that, oh, you should get something done, it's either like, oh, I want to do this, or I'm not going to do this, or I will do this at this time, but that it doesn't have to be what I keep saying I should do. It's more like what I genuinely like want to do for creating all this content or for showing up online.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
It's hard. It's hard. And one lesson I've still got to learn is this whole, we speak about this perfectionism thing. It doesn't need to be. And oddly enough, a lot of the time, the things that you don't expect to do well, or the things you don't think would take off do, and it's weird. And like, you sometimes line yourself up. You're going to stream a big game, or you're going to do a video that you think is going to go viral, or it's going to be great, at least, and it does the worst. And then you release something that's not, you don't think is funny, and it goes viral. Or you're talking about something on stream. You're like, I'll just do a just chatting stream, but I don't know how many people turn up. And then that just chatting stream is more popular than any of the other streams in the last month. And you're like,
I feel like 9 times out of 10, the streams that you like don't want to show up for, that you're like in a really bad mood and you're like,
good things happen.
This is not like, they end up being the better streams. Like the ones where I'm like pumped and ready to go, sometimes like disaster strikes and then tech issues happen. Like I think, and this goes for more than just streaming. I think I always like trying to tie the podcast into overall life lessons or something that like everyone can gain from it. Like you don't have to be a streamer to like listen to our podcast and understand what's going on. But yeah, just this idea that like you don't know, tugging on my computer cord. You don't know how things are going to end up. So like you have to put yourself out there and give something a try, whether it's streaming or something else, because sometimes the days that you think nothing is going to work, things work so much better than you think they are. And
it's just showing up. Just show up, turn up, and give it your best.
And I mean, kind of like what we're talking about is this idea of showing up, tying back to like our hustle culture thing, is that like just showing up doesn't mean that you have to show up and put in 100% of the effort. Like showing up could be just rolling out of bed and pressing go live. And that doesn't mean that you need to make posts on all 8 social media platforms and you should do all of the things. Like showing up can just be like, you know what? We're here today. We woke up and I'm just existing and I'm experiencing, and sometimes that's...
And you know, honestly, I think especially as a content creator, and if you're feeling this way, and I've had people saying like, oh, it was a shit stream, and I don't get me wrong, I say that all the time to myself, or I say it to Tiz, I'm like, it wasn't very good this time, but like I'm very good at telling you guys tomorrow's a new day, and you're very good at telling me that. So just turn up, be there, I think, but also I think it makes people can resonate with you more and connect with you more, because they're like, they're not having the best day. Neither am I. Let's just chill out and play a game or be cozy, or I didn't have a very good day at work. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't do this very good, but let's just kind of try and have a laugh. And
and I mean, that's kind of why we wanted to start this podcast too, is that like, it's like, well, I think there is this idea that showing up online, or even if you're not a content creator, but you're scrolling on social media or on TikTok and like you see the lives that everyone leads, and sometimes they look it's kind of like viewing the world through rose-colored glasses, right? Where everything looks really good and it looks like everyone has their shit together. And that's kind of why we were like, well, let's do these podcasts where like, you know, I'm trying to travel and we have this janky thing and I'm not even 100% sure that this episode is gonna record right. It's in MKV, and like, how do we upload that to we'll figure it out as we go, right?
I'd say that you can move MK. You can.
Yeah, I'm assuming we can convert it at some point. But like this idea of
it's fine.
Kind of, you don't know how things are gonna end up or what we're doing, and we're all out here just doing our best.
We don't know. And you know what? The less not goals. Well, I guess so. The less goals I'm putting on myself, the less pressure I'm putting myself for that scheduled routine stuff. I'm feeling a bit more relaxed about it. Speaking of like goals, not that this is really tied to what we're talking about, but like kind of. I read this book. What's it called? I forget what it's called, so this is not very helpful. But the concept of it is, rather than setting goals, so it's like around New Year's, a lot of times people will set like, okay, I want to like go to the gym and I want to get in shape and I want to lose 10 pounds and like, here's all these things, right? And a lot of the 9 times out of 10 people will set these resolutions, and then within like a month or two they'll fail, and then they'll be like, oh my God, I hate myself because I didn't follow through with this, blah, 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 right? She talks about that it's better to sit down and write how you want to feel overall. What are you doing? Do you need glasses? Are you blind? Do you wear glasses normally? I just thought it'd be quite nice for people to see the studious side of me.
Oh, are they blue light?
I'm not wearing them properly. No, I'm just doing it. There you go.
Are there is it blue light glasses? So you can't do this to my ADHD.
They're just normal.
You're not allowed to move while I'm talking, otherwise I can't remember what I'm saying. Okay, anyway.
Part of what I'm going to do... What I'm going to do is a new feature, like wear something different every time Tiz looks away from the camera and see if she notices.
Oh, I will notice. But yeah, just that, like, it should be about, oh God, there we go with the shooting again. But figuring out how you want to, what is it? Is that like an instrument? Can you play it? Why are you stroking it? Can you blow on it?
Is it coming through? Can you not hear it?
No, does it make a sound? I think Discord noise suppression, no, it's nothing. I thought it was like a little trumpet thing.
It's called an automaton. It is a Japanese instrument that it uses a scale like this where you push it, it makes different notes. And you do this and it warbles. This is a Kirby one.
Yeah, no, you can't hear it.
Anyway, sorry, I have really derailed this, so
no, but
carry on.
Just
you
the
were
feelings,
saying...
feeling the way that you want to feel rather than doing specific goals. Like, so sure, if you hit your follower girl on Twitch or something, I'm sure you'd feel great. But
yeah,
there's this like kind of idea that like if you don't hit that goal, then you don't feel like you're being successful and all this other stuff. So if you're able to kind of decide, oh, this is how I want to feel about this, or this is how I want to show up, then it actually makes it easier to meet all of those other goals, if that makes sense. Sort of. So like, for example, what is the feeling if you were, so like for Twitch this year, rather than your goal being like, okay, you want to hit this many average viewers or this many, how do you want to feel for your streaming or your showing up in that world?
I wanna feel like I'm being the best version of myself and being successful with I'm bringing out content, entertaining content, and getting more active on the other sites away from Twitch. That will support Twitch, but I'm removing, like for instance, I said about removing the schedule. I've also said to myself now almost, and this month is a good way to deal with it because I'm kind of learning to accept it, is that I'm not going to worry about average viewers anymore at all, and that ties in with a goal which has been playing on my mind for the last 12 months or so.
Yeah.
It's being partner on Twitch, but you've said to me before, having that check mark, having partner doesn't define your success as a streamer. Loads of people have said that to me. I don't need it anymore. I'm not focused on it. I'm not worried about it. If it comes, it comes. That's great. But I'd rather feel happy in this space. And I there's been times where I've not been happy in the last 12 months because I feel like I've got to a certain point and and I'm like, this is it. And then it's dropped. And then I feel like I'm failing.
Well, that's what I mean, right? Like if
There's
you're striving for that specific goal that you're like, well, I have to hit this, otherwise I'm a success or not. But if you're like, okay, if I just want to feel confident in myself, then like you can hit that goal without hitting those numbers or something. And I do think that reflects better on your stream as a whole, right? Like if you're happier and you're more confident, like you're going to create better content in the first place.
The cracks started to come through. People could see it. My mods said, look, it's gonna show, and it is showing, and we want you to be happy and enjoy what you're doing, and you're not, because you're worried about when the viewers are slightly lower than what they usually are.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're turning them off everywhere, I think I honestly, like I don't know if.
And I know you've been harping on at me for that for ages, and it's finally starting to slowly.
Listening to my advice.
Like, it's almost because I'm accepting, like I'm going live on days which don't usually go live.
Yeah.
And that I'm like, well, do you know what? I'll probably only get 30 people in today, but 30 people are still choosing to come on a Wednesday. Yeah, exactly. And like on Friday daytime, I never stream on Friday. I stream on Friday daytime, and it's one of the best streams I've had in months. And I was like, what is happening? What is going on? And it was great, and it was brilliant. And I was like, actually, no, don't care. If I don't make partner ever, I don't make partner. It's as simple as that. But that doesn't mean that I failed at Twitch. Totally.
Well, and just in general, like I think for me, taking time away too, I'm realizing how much, like the things that I need.
I'm sorry. That sounded really big-headed. Like only 30 people. If you get 30 viewers, that is fucking amazing. All right. Please don't take that, because like if you're getting 5, you're getting 10. Cancel me. That's really good. That's a great number. 30 viewers is huge. Yes. But I'm just being self-critical of myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've made a post about this while I've been traveling too, about like how hard it is to miss out, and I've been having a lot of discussions with people where we talk about, it's weird being a content creator, and it's so strange to, like, for the community facing part of it, it feels very much like, like I don't care about numbers and it doesn't matter, and like we're here for community. And anybody who knows the back end piece of it and is trying to make this be a full-time thing, numbers are all brands and stuff care about. So it's this weird, like.
You're gonna need to talk. Doorbell. Go. Keep talking.
Yeah. No, it's this weird thing with trying to find this balance of what having people online. Hello. We still got like 10, 15 minutes, but just got back, which is where I'm staying. But, what was I talking about? Balance with numbers. Oh, that like numbers do matter, but then also not wanting them to matter at the same time. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you get a package?
All of that. Yeah, I needed this one as well because I need it for my part of my streaming stuff.
What'd you get?
Got a gimbal.
Oh, gimbal. Oh, sweet. Actually, I think we were talking about that last podcast, weren't we?
Yeah.
Like for filming things. What are you going to use it for? Is that the DJI?
The DJI Osmi mobile. It's just it wasn't that expensive really. It was
Ooh.
not too bad, but it comes with a stabilizer. It comes with the tripod and everything as well. It's got like an active track software as well, apparently, where it can focus on an image, which is really cool, like a moving thing.
Yeah.
But this week I'm doing.
You're taking that because you want to film stuff for TwitchCon and stuff as well, right? That's the main reason.
But also like I'm taking my dog Ted on a walk. We're gonna go on a walk around the forest and the reservoir and stuff like that. So do a bit more kind of IRL streaming.
Interesting.
And it'll be it'll be a really steady picture rather than a.
We're going on a trip. Well, okay, listen, that's how all my vlogs are right now because I've been too lazy to get
some phone case because I'm gonna drop this and I'm gonna really be upset if I drop it.
That's what
because I've got buttery fingers. My fingers get buttery.
My mic doesn't plug into this with my case on, so it's been a pain in the butt because like anytime I want to like record something seriously, I have to like take my case off and like plug the mic jack in and then like it's. So most of the time I just film things just on the fly with normal sound anyway. So, you know, we do what we can.
I agree with everything Tiz said whilst I was answering the door. I think.
You had your headphones on. You could kind of hear, right?
A little bit.
Well, Ferry got home at the same time too, so it was like it said hi and then also got distracted.
Okay. Anyway, listen.
All the things.
Being the best versions of ourselves, not putting ourselves under too much pressure to get things done, understanding that even if we just get a little bit of content out here and there in your own time frames, it doesn't. Again, it's this whole. I think it also goes back to the stop competing with everyone else and what their week looks like and what yours looks like.
I think that's a lesson for everyone with everything, right? Whether it's streaming or not, is that you can't look
Do not compare yourself.
Can't look at what other people are doing. You have to do what works for you and your brain and your life and your situation. Like, you know, having 2 kids and like you can't fit like
can't do it.
There is no feasible way that you can do the same level of content that somebody can, even like me who doesn't have kids, and like it's just different situations are going to be different, and so like you can't compare that because
And it's made me have doubts before about streaming, and whether I can do this. And you can do it. You can stream and have a family, and it is doable. But there has to be a bit of give and take, and there has to be time for the family, and you just have to understand that. And fortunately, I'm surrounded by a wonderful group of moderators and community members and streamers who understand that I have a family. Other streamers there's certain streamers who have families as well. It happens, and people will give me that time that I need to just be away from everything and not feel bad about it.
That's kind of like this whole kind of episode. The base of what we're talking about is that like rather than it just being about the hustle, making sure that you're figuring out how to have that growth in whatever way works for you, because it's always going to look different.
And actually, do you know what I like about it as well is that I hope that if people are thinking of streaming or doing streaming or on their streaming journeys and they have different commitments like families, or they might be looking after family members, or they might have their busy jobs and that, there is a way to stream and still have that other side of your life as well. And the more I see people with families or kids or like different age ranges on Twitch, it's really nice to see. Yeah. It's really, really nice to see Twitch being not just I'm in my 20s and 30s and I play video games or that's it. It's nice to see Twitch. Like I like older people on Twitch. I see people doing all the different crafts and arts and everything like that. I had a wonderful streamer come in last night who raided me, and her stream was pinning bugs.
Oh,
so it was pinning bugs into those shadow boxes. Yeah, that was amazing. I was like, what that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here getting angry at a game and like pulling my hair out and being like, and she's like doing something incredibly talented and sharing that with the community.
Well, and I think that's even kind of like I've been doing more of the chainmail and trying to find things that I enjoy
Yeah,
more.
the
It's like,
chainmail is
you
so
don't
good.
have to do what everybody else is doing. Like you can find what works for you, and you'll find your people and the ones that want to be there for you, whatever that looks like. And I think that that's more important than trying to force something that doesn't feel like you or feels too difficult. I do think there is a level of like sometimes even like last night I did a stream, and because I hadn't streamed in a while, I was really nervous to go live. Sometimes you have to put yourself out of your comfort zone just a little bit to do those things, but it doesn't always have to be a grind, and you can find what works. That's
Just about being present in the online space, getting the content out when you can, not feeling like you have to hit any kind of goals that other streamers are hitting to match that, because you don't. You can grow in different ways. You will grow in different ways. Not everyone's going to grow at the same speed. And that is okay.
Yeah.
And that is all right. And it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to turn your notifications off. It's okay to prioritize something else over streaming when it needs to be. I think that's really important. So I don't, be careful of the cultures out there that certain YouTube videos or certain people will say you have to be doing this if you want to be successful.
Or you have to do it a specific way.
I just don't think that's right at all. And actually, it's interesting. I've seen a couple of people on Twitter recently and other things saying someone said it is becoming harder to stream. It is harder. The discoverability is tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
There's no way you could stream 7 days a week and put 20 TikToks out, and that wouldn't guarantee you beating someone who's streaming 3 times a week and does 1 TikTok a week or something. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, and every person is going to be different too. And sometimes it's luck of the algorithm. Sometimes it's the type of content that you release. Like you can't always compare it 1-to-1, and it's always going to be different. So don't drive yourself crazy trying to push for something like that, and instead just
been there,
try
done
different
that before.
things and have fun with it.
6 years into Twitch now, and I've been through the highs and lows and the burnouts and the second burnouts and the third burnouts and the questioning my life and why am I doing this, and I'm still here now.
Yeah.
But I think everyone goes through that.
It's still a great time in its own right?
So where are we? How are we looking for?
Well, 52. So we could.
Okay,
wrap
start to
things. I feel like we're mostly on topic today. I think it's always a little bit tough. One thing that I've noticed with doing these podcasts is that I kind of can't remember exactly what we talk about in the older episodes. So there's part of me that I'm worried that I'm like, oh wait, did we cover this? Did we talk about this already? No. I feel like we have to
it's difficult.
My brain to stay organized.
We feel like we're going over some things, don't we?
Yeah. So in my brain, I almost need a type of transcript up for each one, a little rough summary for each podcast episode, so we can make sure that we're keeping the content fresh and new every single time. I mean, granted, all this stuff is going to kind of overlay a little bit. I do think
it will do. It will do a little bit.
It also helps if anybody ever if there's something very specific that you guys want us to cover or talk about. Leaving comments and letting us know,
until we get
about XYZ.
Until we get a team around us and a studio set up and an actual people
someone to
whispering
monitor
in our ear
and help us
to say, move on to this topic. You meant to talk about this topic. Until we have that, you're going to have to deal with this as it is. Going on what you just said, actually, though, was actually what I was just going to talk about in terms of the comments and things like that. I want to thank you to everyone who has been commenting on the videos. Please do feel free to like and comment on it, because the more engagement we get with it, the more we want to respond to you, and we can try and answer any questions you might have.
So
the feedback you guys give us,
future episodes.
Yeah, we'd love to talk about people's comments on opinions. So what I'll do is, once the next episode goes out, I'll put it on our little YouTube blog page, but I'll also put it in some of the socials, and I'll mention it on the communities and that. If you do have anything you want us to ask us in the next podcast, we will go over those questions if you have them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we start getting questions in the comments too, we either can make that an episode about those things, or we can have a Q&A session at the end of podcasts where we address any questions that were asked. That could be a cool segment if we, once we get big time and get to that point.
Q&A session at the end. So a big shout out, thank you to everyone who has been commenting. Please do feel free to, because we'd love to see what you guys want us to talk about, or what you think,
even
or your own experiences.
Hey,
with streaming.
I watched this.
And even if you're not as well, if you're not a streamer, and if it's just general chatter about mental health and things like that, and be it anything to do with your work or balance or finding time for anything that relates to that kind of mental health side of things, please feel free to comment as well. We've got a couple more podcasts. Like we were saying, we've got a couple more podcasts to do. So we'll have a few more podcasts to do before TwitchCon. So there'll be this one and a couple of others, and then you'll probably get a TwitchCon style podcast, or at least a Rotterdam podcast, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Some shape or form. And I would imagine once Tiz is back from her travels, and what date that might be, we don't know, or what it look like. We would like to do guest segments. So please, again, I'll put messages out about that if people want to join us on that.
Yeah,
and it
well,
would just
while
be you
I'm
sitting
traveling, it's been kind of hard even for us to coordinate ourselves. So we figure when I'm back, it'll be a little bit easier for us to have like
if you
multiple people, podcast guest stars.
You want to be the first guest star for the Unwind Online podcast.
Let us
you could do it. And also, it would just be, all you need to do is just rock up, put your camera on, put your mic on, and hang out with us. And
we could even use this layout and then just put like a circle in the middle, and then there's just guests.
Yeah, I was wondering where we'd fit. Where would we?
Oh no!
In between us. Oh no, she's moving.
I turned it back on again.
I don't know
why did
she's on a boat? She's on a little fishing boat.
Stop.
Do you see how she's sliding?
Oh, it worked. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be the guest, we'd love to have you on with us. We're not gonna throw you under the bus or anything. We just want to get your thoughts on everything. We'll pick a topic. We'll share our experiences. We'll have a laugh together. We'll have a wine. We'll have a moan. So yeah.
A whinge moan.
So
we usually do our games.
Yeah, what's your game of the week, Tiz? What you been playing?
Absolutely nothing. So still Clair Obscur. One day I'll be able to beat it, but that's probably going to be my favorite game until I'm able to game again.
Yeah.
So.
What a sad time to be going away just as you find what could potentially be the game of the year for most of us. Maybe I need to just start doing my
favorite country instead. My favorite food that I've experienced while gone.
Your favorite country? What do you want about? Oh, you mean in terms of like? I thought it was like a game. I was like, what? You playing like GeoGuessr or something? What are you talking about?
No, because I'm not. Yeah. I pulled my tripod out today though. I used it for 2 seconds.
Jesus Christ. I think your tripod's probably bigger than mine. I haven't looked at it yet.
Look at what it does. Wait. Sorry. So if you hit the bottom of it, it pops the feet out.
Whacks you in the throat. So if anyone tries to steal your tripod and they try and open it, they will.
I'm just gonna
they'll get a throat punch. Yeah.
It's gonna be dangerous.
Nice. I like it. I like it. So you've not played any games, and that's disappointing. As a streamer, that is really disappointing. You've not even downloaded anything on your mobile. You've not tried to attempt anything on your laptop.
Right now. All right. Mm-hmm. We just chit chat.
She's one of those. She turned into a just chatting streamer.
You have a game?
Terrible. Probably no different than what Clair Obscur is great. I sunk another 7 hours into it on Friday, and it was magnificent, and it was brilliant, and have you gotten to the end
of Act 1 yet?
No. I'm not. Did you get to the end of Act 1?
Yes, I got to the end of Act 1.
No, but I'm slower than you, aren't I?
Yeah, you are very slow.
I did the whole beach bit, and that was amazing. And...
you've gotten nowhere. Oh boy.
I've done the underwater thing. I've been exploring the bigger land, and I did the side bit with the beach and the. Have you got to that?
I don't know.
With the little kind of obstacle course.
You're talking about the jump thing?
Yeah.
In the like black and white land?
No, not in black and white land. No. In the beach, the big old island, where you can unlock swimsuits.
Oh no, I haven't done that.
Oh my god.
There's a lot to it that I think, like at the beginning, I didn't talk to very many people. There's definitely a lot that I need to go back and like chat with people.
That's what I'm doing. I'm looking at. And I was in love with Lune, and I'm now more in love with Lune.
Oh my god,
magnificent.
Me too. She's my favorite. Oh, but now she has a swimsuit. Is that what you're saying?
But they knew what they were doing there.
Checks out.
But so probably that. We played a game called Phantasmagoria this week as well, which is this 95 horror full motion video game. It's brilliant, but it is very janky because it's a 30-year-old game.
Yeah.
Old games are janky. But
fair.
Yeah, Clair Obscur is still my best one. So
So
that's it.
yeah, we got podcast
are.
episodes every Wednesday at 2 p.m. and MST.
9 p.m. UK BST, SMT, GMT,
All the time zone
ABC,
things.
LOL, ISTG.
Okay, and then we do our until next time.
All right. Optimistic and opulent. Interesting
just do
and
one.
invisible. I'm trying to think of letters that I've not worked with before. Zany and zoinky.
I'm just gonna high five you so we can leave. Ooh.
I don't know where I'm high fiving.
Yep, same time as before. Yep.
Here? No,
yep.
but you're high fiving the other way to me now.
No, not
Guys.
mine.
Thank you
It's
very
good.
much for
It's fine.
supporting us. We appreciate you a lot. We'll see you next time.
All right. Goodbye.